Welcome to Absolute Comics, right here at the Comic Story and Podcast Network, aired every Tuesday at about 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm Benny. I run a YouTube channel called The Comic Historian. That is Sal. He runs a YouTube channel called Comic Pop, and we create this podcast every week talking about all the greatest news within the comic book zeitgeist. Fun. I like using the word zeitgeist. It's a fun word.
It's a fun word.
I only learned what it meant like 2 weeks ago, and I've been using it all over the place.
Once you hear it, you will use it forever.
Yeah, exactly. This episode is going to be a bit weird. It may or may not include Scott Snyder.
It's great. It's
he's supposed to be a guest today. Well, I want to take a second. It's supposed to be a show today where he was going to be promoting his new works, talking about DC Fandome. But at the moment, he's currently held up at the dentist office. The updates I've gotten from him is that first off, his kid left the light on in the car. The car died. So he got to the dentist office late, which means he's getting to our podcast late. And the current update is that he's suffering with Michael Bolton being played at the dentist office. So
that's where we are.
Let's take a moment to just show off his book in case we can't eventually work this out. So there it is. There is his current Kickstarter that he is trying to promote. Looks awesome. It's called Nocturnal by Scott Snyder, Tony Daniel. I love Tony Daniel's art. I love Scott Snyder's writing. This is going to be a great book. You should definitely back it. He'll be here to eventually talk more about it himself, but I figured let's just in case, help him promote the thing he was coming back for.
Right.
So anyway, guys, we do have a list of topics that we got just in case the interview ran short or Scott get held up. So we would still have a show.
So here we are.
Yeah, so you're getting a show either way.
That's right.
Why does it look like I'm peaking so bad? Do I sound very loud to you?
No, it sounds good to me.
Huh. I'm worried that I have a voice modulator on, but I don't. It's all turned off.
No, I would hear it, definitely.
All right. Well, okay, there's times on my stream where it's been on for like 15 minutes and no one tells me. I think Sal would at least tell me, though.
I would notice. I'd be like, are we going to do this the whole time, or is this a mistake?
You're doing Starscream for the whole podcast, Benny?
Yeah. You're like, oh, no! Curse you, Megatron!
All right, so let's go over our topics then.
Yeah. Let's jump into it.
Okay, real topic discussion. We have DC Fandome will release 200 comics for free during the 24-hour event. The full list hasn't been confirmed, but based on the imagery of the event website, Dark Knight's Metal will be available among the 200.
Cool. What does that mean, be available? Right? Like, does that mean that they're going to be...
Where are you going to download it?
Are they going to mail them to me? Are they going to give me a download code? If so, what service do you want me to watch it or to read the comic?
Is it on DC Universe app? Because I don't know what is going on with that now.
Won't I need a monthly service to watch it or read them?
You raise excellent questions, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, it comes from years of being told, but wait, there's more, and then being like, what more? Why is there more? How much?
Okay,
is that
according to
cost me?
Tevia, it's on Comixology.
Okay, well that's fair. There's no barrier to entry.
Read the article.
We could have done that. But yeah, there's no barrier to entry. There's no fee. It's just here's some free comics. That's cool. That's down. I'm down. I love that.
Yeah. So not much to talk about on that. So we'll move on to the next topic.
No, it's a good idea.
New Wolverine project in the works. Wolverine Black, White, and Blood starts this November. Each issue will have 3 adventures from Wolverine's long history, featuring many all-star talent. You know what? This sounds awesome.
Yes, if you liked Harley Quinn Black, White, and Red, you're going to love Wolverine Black, White, and Blood, which is the exact same premise, but with Wolverine. It's the exact same book.
What is the Harley Quinn Black, White, and Red? Was that one of those Black Label books that I skipped over because there was 5 Harley Quinn books?
No, it's not. Although you might have slept on something interesting because the latest issue of Harley Quinn Black, White, and Red was a Murphyverse Sean Gordon Murphy written story set after Curse of the White Knight starring Harley Quinn.
What is Harley Quinn Black, White, and Red? I've never even heard of this.
It's just like this. It's a comic book series that has a couple of stories in them that are black and white and red, and those are the only colors being used in the book. And they're done by, miscellaneous
talent. So does that mean that the Wolverine one's going to be written in black, white, and then blood?
It's going to be printed in red, but the red will be, substituted.
Oh, wait, I have seen this. I thought it was something garbage.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, and the art's fantastic. It's just basically the Batman black and white book, but with Harley, it's she's primarily known as being red, so let's put red in there, and it'll be more striking, and indeed it is. So Wolverine is the exact same book, but with Wolverine in it. So it's like, it's really just taking the template of that concept and applying it to Wolverine, which honestly, regardless of it being, inspired or ripoff, I'm down because the Chris Claremont, Jerry Duggan, Kelly Thompson, Ed Brisson, Donny Cates, Chris Bocciolo doing art on Wolverine, but only using black, white, and red in the color scheme. That's awesome. Like, I hope there's an Andy
I
Kubert
like
in
the
there.
idea of anthology tales. I love my long, sprawling stuff in comic books, but sometimes it's just nice to have a book I can read and the story ends and I don't have to worry about it, think about where it fits into continuity. I'm reading Joker War stuff right now, and they just came out with the Batgirl issue came out last week in which the Joker partially paralyzed her again. But this week in Nightwing, she's able to fight Nightwing, who is now Dickie Boy, the Joker's sidekick.
Right. Yes.
But what I'm saying is, like, and then if you go to the main Batman book, Batman's currently incapacitated. But in Detective Comics, he's fighting with Batwoman against Joker clowns. So it's nice to just be able to read a book and not have to wait for the whole series to come out to go, okay, so Batman wakes up at this point. That's when he teamed up with Batwoman. And then Batgirl was attacked here, but she got better for this. So
yeah. Yeah. No, it's I love anthology tales, especially those kind where it's like, is this even in continuity? Doesn't matter. It's just a dope video. It's just a dope story about Wolverine using his claws on bad guys. I'm in. I think that sounds great.
You know what? I'm gonna end the Wolverine topic. I do want us to read this. That sounds amazing. I'm on board with that. Okay. Tevye brought up the whole Rick Grayson thing. I think they're finally done with it, and I think the excuse they're going to do is that Joker's going to fix him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you read Nightwing today?
I did not. I only got time to read Batman, which I did and enjoyed thoroughly.
Do you mind if I spoil it slightly? I won't tell you exactly what happens.
I don't read Nightwing, so I'm happy to be spoiled.
Okay, so he comes in as Dickie Boy, the sidekick of the Joker. And basically they've brainwashed him to think that his whole life was as Joker's Robin.
Right.
So he does everything for the Joker, but they straight up are already establishing that his memories are out of whack. Batgirl, Jason, and Drake need to save him. Yep. All these things. And I feel like at the end of this, it's okay, now he's back to Dick Grayson. He was Dickie Boy, now he's Dick Grayson. No more this Rick crap.
Nope. The Rick thing is, I think Joker said it best. He said it's stupid. Like when he heard his name was Rick, he's like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how the whole thing plays out. But I think they're done with this Rick thing. I think the Rick thing was a fun experiment. I won't deny that. I was reading it when it started. I think two things happened. One, it made it, they tried to make it play into things too much. First off, they tried to say, oh, well, the Bat family's just letting him relax, do his own thing. One, that's out of character. That would never have flown.
Right.
If he didn't have his memories, he would have been in the Wayne Manor being recovered by Alfred. We all know this.
Yep.
Okay, fine. Secondly, his constant argument as Rick Grayson was that he didn't feel like he was a part of this family and he had to create his own identity.
Yeah.
Cool. But I'm telling you right now, Sal, if I wake up tomorrow and I have no memories and I am apparently the ward of a multi-billion-dollar guy who has tons of resources at his disposal, and I'm told I'm a superhero, probably going to see what's going on with that before I decide to go become a taxi driver.
Gonna investigate that before getting the 9 to 5, absolutely.
But, okay, fine. We'll ignore that not making sense. The last part is, once he pretty much started acting like Nightwing again, but still wanted to be Rick, that's where it really made no sense, because now he's like, well, I'm going to train these other superheroes because I obviously have all these skills.
Right.
But I'm still Rick Grayson and don't want to team up with the Bat family. Like,
well, for me, that's just editorial. That's just them being like, well, the guy over there says it's got to be Rick, and it has to stay at least a year. So, even though it makes no sense and no one would do this, and even if we were to tell the story, it would naturally conclude after this amount of issues. We have to artificially keep it up and keep it as the status quo for as long as he's satisfied. And now he's gone, so they're like, "Well, fix that as quickly as possible. People like this character, and we want to keep them from. We want to keep his book from hemorrhaging readers." Did I lose you?
Anyway, that's. I just wanted to say that about Nightwing stuff. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. I think it's almost poetic that Joker's the one who's going to get him his memories back. It's so clever that they are able to work it into this massive Joker event to be like, and we're also going to throw in fixing Nightwing too. As long as we're here. I mean, as long as we're changing things up. Let's put this up.
Yeah, no, that's just it. What I'm hoping is this kind of makes Nightwing, don't kill me, a little more interesting.
Yeah.
I hope it kind of entwines him better with the Joker and things like that, because I feel like that's one thing that he's always kind of been missing. Like, Nightwing's great. Him as Robin is great, but I feel like for some reason there was just he never really had a connection to the Joker. Like, Jason Todd out of the equation, Batgirl had her connection to the Joker. Joker messed with Tim Drake and his family, but Nightwing always just like, oh, that's a bad guy. You know, like,
well, because he was like, because Joker came on the scene shortly before he became Robin, and then for the rest of his life, it's just like Joker is Batman's arch nemesis. He's scary, and he tries to kill all of us, but like he succeeded after I quit.
yeah.
So that's cool. I like that. Good idea.
So, all right. So moving on to our next topic then. DC confirms that the most powerful psychic in the universe is also the most beloved sidekick, Jarro. Dan's editorial note in our notes here. That's it. I just wanted people to know that Jarro is back. Super strong, super awesome. Thanks, Dan.
Yes, in Dark Knight's Death Metal #3, Jarro returns, and it turns out he is super important, and he's clutch in Wonder Woman's plans. And yeah, he's fun. If you like Jarro, you're gonna love him in this. And they do drop that he is the world's most powerful psychic now.
Yeah, I just love Dan's note. That's it. I have nothing else.
Yeah, he had a great moment in that book where
did.
Batman shows up and he's like Dad. He goes, not in front of Clark.
Yes, that was the best moment ever. All right, so after recent shifts at DC, Jim Lee stated that DC will shift collectibles to a higher price point and more of a licensing model working with other manufacturers that they already work with. That sounds to me like they're going to be more Sideshow, less everybody who wants to buy DC stuff and make products on it.
Yes.
I'm actually not against that. I'm not against that. There should, in my opinion, DC should have 3 hefty price points. You should have your Funko level of collectible, $15 to $30 collectible price range, cheap statue. You should have your $100 to $200 DC collectible line, and we should have our $800 to $900 Green Lantern and Flash.
Yes, exactly. But it sounds like they're getting rid of the DC collectibles part, right? Like,
yeah.
Basically, you remove the middle tier. It's like, yeah, you can get action figures and statues, like Funko Pop, like figurines, and you can get very expensive statues. Like, we're going to get rid of that middle ground.
And that's just it. I feel like I do, but as a collector who does these things, I feel like they needed to. Because that middle ground seemed to have no quality control. Part of the reason I have these statues, Sal, is not because, like, okay, first off, they're cool to have. They're giant.
They're dope.
They make great set pieces. That's cool, too. But the other reason I have a lot of those and not a lot of the smaller ones is the quality was all over the place. Because whoever wanted to pay for it could get that license.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess that's true. Although there are the DC collectibles, like the DC Direct line, had some really, really cool, like across the board good stuff. I'm thinking specifically of like the Andy Kubert Batman statue from Dark Knight 3. There's a great Gary Frank Superman and Lois statue. Like the ones that I'm thinking of are the ones that came in that same box, but like or they're directly like influenced by artists, like the Greg Capullo Dark Knight's Metal Batman statue, which is like this big, and it's it's like $200 maybe. And it looks like Greg Capullo drew it. It's really cool. There's a Todd McFarlane Batman statue that's in his style for that Detective Comics book he did, or that Batman cover he did, and it looks like the comic book come to life, and I would have loved that. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore, like if it's going to be a thing. And it's too bad we're not going to get some of those things. I was so concerned about that because I got into the collectibles game way late. Like I didn't get a lot of statues, but because we have sets and I want to have set pieces and I can like kind of afford more statues now, I'm like, I'll get into statues, but I still can't justify your statues. Like I can't spend $900 on a statue.
It's because I need write-offs. I don't know if you're aware of this, but when you eventually hit tax brackets where it's like, I need write-offs. God damn it.
I do need write-offs. Yeah. No, I do need that. And I find it. Like we have a lot of things that we can expense. Yeah. But yeah.
So yeah, anyway, with the higher price point, I think that was the problem I had though. Like the Andy Kubrick is good, but then you'd have the really weird low quality ones. It was kind of all over the place.
Yes, that's fair. But won't them opening the licensing option up be create more of that situation where it's like you don't know what you're getting because so anyone who can afford the licensing deal will just make whatever they got.
No, you're right. I want them to tighten it up.
Yeah.
One thing I like about my Marvel statues is they're not easy to come by. Like
Right.
Like you come here and you're like, okay, that's a cool Green Lantern, that's a cool Flash, but I can get something similar. But you come here and you look at my Iron Man and you're like, dude. You look at my female Thor, you're like, dude.
Yeah.
Like people are more impressed with my Marvel stuff because it's harder to find. So as a collector, that's what I want.
Right. Yeah.
For you to have issues replicating what I have.
True. Yeah. I mean, I don't have that that's the Flash statue that I've seen in person is unbelievable.
That one back there?
Where he's ripping up the road. It's amazing
that took forever
stuff.
It came in so many pieces.
I bet. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm happy with it. Here's the statue, here's the base, plug it into the base, put it up on the wall. And I was so worried that like this was going to happen, that they were just going to dissolve DC Direct or DC Collectibles, that I bought a couple of statues that I was like on the fence about for years, just because I'm like, I bet they don't. Well, since they're not going to make these anymore, they're probably going to be hard to find. So I finally grabbed the Francis Manapul Flash, and I got the Neil Adams Superman breaking the chains across his chest. I was like, these are cool, and I've always wanted these, and they're like under $200. I was like, I can afford to get these. The Flash one was under $100, and it's like really nice looking.
Link me that. Really cool. I want that.
It was on Amazon. I'll pull it. I'll see if I can pull it up while you work.
Okay. All right. Next topic on our list then, because I think we both like collectibles. We have different levels of collecting, but we both like them. This is true. Despite the split from Diamond comic distributors, DC comic sales are the same level or higher than pre-COVID numbers. No. Batman 3 Jokers has already sold over 300,000 copies.
I was really looking forward to talking to you guys today, but I'll go into it real quick. My kid just I'm like I'm literally sitting in a dentist apartment. I'm a comic celebrity. Anyway, I'm really excited about it. Ultimately, like the goal was to do a Kickstarter that would essentially make people feel connected to me and Tony. The book is something I've been dying to do for a long time. It's based on, I had like a deathly fear of the dark when I was a kid, and this guy, he won't admit it now, but he was scared of it. And then my 9-year-old has a lot of fears about it. And I wanted to do something where it's like the earth is suddenly submerged in this darkness where the morning just doesn't show up tomorrow. And instead this new darkness, no one knows if it's like biblical or supernatural or cosmic, but what happens is anything that stays in it too long, any living creature starts to mutate and becomes this monstrous thing. And so it's a lot of fun. It's like a high octane horror series. It's about this woman that had bad vision as a kid. She had all these terrible cataracts and then had surgery when she was older, but she remembers what it was like living in kind of blindness. And so she's really badass about navigating this new darkness, and she's a trucker. She takes people from town to town in this awesome 18-wheeler that's like armed with these weaponized lights. And so I've been dying to do it forever, and Tony and I started working on it a year ago. And then, to be totally honest, like when COVID shut everything down, it made me start to think about a way, possibly like a better way to make sure that we weren't putting pressure on an indie publisher to help us when, they were drying up and when there was all kinds of hardship and disruption and interruption. So for us, it really was about making a safe, like a lockbox with enough money to fund the book. And then so that we could make it no matter what happens with COVID, not put pressure on any indie publisher. And then at the same time, be able to take whatever extra we make, whatever I make, I'm taking zero profit, goes to the next book for this label I'm starting, Best Jacket. I'm going to announce the next book soon. I'm really excited. I shouldn't say, but there are about 6 or 7 books in different stages of production. And a lot with some artists are brand new. Some of them are people you've seen me work with before. But anything that you guys give to this campaign that gets past what we need for those first 5 issues of the book, I promise goes straight to the next person. I will take nothing from it. And so whatever you support, like I promise, it's not like my Camaro. It's literally I want the whole idea of Best Jacket is putting on a big boy jacket, trying to be a better writer, be a better person in the community, create opportunities for people, not just through books I'm doing, but actually help publish books down the line. So I'm really excited about it. I really am. And I love what I'm doing at DC. I still have like a big project there, but post death metal, but I need to recommit and rededicate myself to create our own more this year, and Tony's a great partner to start with, so I'm really thrilled.
That's awesome. I'm excited about it. It's already doing super amazing over at Kickstarter, so
Yeah, we've been lucky, and the whole idea with it was to do an edition. My phone might die, but we're to do an edition. I know, I am just the biggest loser. But to do an edition that essentially would be like, I'm gonna have like no phone in a dentist parking lot, watch this car die, and then I'll be like completely shit out of luck. But to do something that was art and script, no lettering, and to give you a window into how we make the book together, make you feel connected with us, that wouldn't compete with retailers. So when it comes out from Image in February, this is a collector's edition. You can get it signed. It'll be a special item. There are all kinds of cool stretch goals. I'm gonna write a short story. All kinds of fun stuff that we're gonna add to it. But it'll give something. It's a way to connect to fans at a time when like it feels like circumstances are just pushing us apart more and more. Yeah. And then also allows us to safeguard the book and create a lockbox where we can make it no matter what happens. So anyway, I should take this kid back to my house, but let's set it up. I promise I'd love to show you more, give you teases, talk more about what's coming in death metal, after death metal, everything. So
yeah, we'll work out another one. I think we're losing you.
Crazy shit with that. So I really, really want to talk to you guys. So
yeah, we'd love to have you.
Dropped the ball today. I literally spent.
That phone is dying.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Snyder, thank you so much, Scott, for being on the show. And
once again, I'll pull up the Kickstarter. It's right here, guys. You can check it out. Nocturnal #1. I'm going to be back in this project myself. I love the artwork. I mean, just the outfit on the cover here reminds me of a Destiny Hunter, and I'll be playing that. So
my question to you, Benny, is like, because there's many different tiers. I've backed it myself. I just wanted to get the book. But will you get the one where you get drawn into the book?
Oh, hell yeah, I will. Guys, we're doing a stretch goal on my Twitch after this. I need $1,000 to be drawn. Do you think I have money, Sal? I do not have money.
I know we're in a weird place.
I am a podcaster. We don't make money.
Not to spend $1,000 to be drawn into Nocturnal, which by the way is available now on Kickstarter.
Yeah,
to back.
It's no longer available. It's already gone.
Is it gone? Oh,
it's gone.
It's not. Oh no, the headshots are gone. No. Yeah, headshots are gone. Everything's gone. Wow.
I'm sure I could talk to him. I'm sure we can figure something out.
Well, yeah, you're like, come on, I got $1,000. Here's your.
I'll pay it. Just draw me in, man.
Yeah, I think you know what, because they limit the amount of tiers you get. It looks like to be drawn in, there's 5 backers, so there's 5 people. They could probably fit in a 6th guy that gets killed by.
I could. Could I get kills in the intro? Can I'll pay the backer fee? Can I get kills in the intro?
There you have it. Benny probably will die in Nocturnal. So if that's not enough motivation for you people, you should definitely check the link in, if you're watching this in the post show, in the description, or at the very least in the chat right now to help provide. It was at a $40,000 tier. It's at $91,955 right now, so it is obviously double funded. And as I understand it, and Scott has discussed it, we're going to see stretch goals and additional incentives, but it's all kind of like insulated so that like this Kickstarter experience is going to be very different from the experience of going to buy Nocturnal in the store. Like the Nocturnal you're going to get at this Kickstarter level is actually going to be a very different Nocturnal than the one you get at the shop, so that there is still an incentive to check it out when it comes out, inevitably, hopefully, I think like next year or whatever, when if only we had the creator here to tell us when it was, but
we'll work it out. Either you'll interview tomorrow, or we'll work on something for Thursday, or maybe Friday. We'll figure it all out. But
exactly.
If you guys don't know, Sal and I have different schedules. Like I'm busy Wednesday. Sal's normally busy Thursday.
I shoot on Thursday, so
that's why Tuesday is the day of our show.
Exactly. That way, we're all working every day of the week.
Hey, I take Mondays and Fridays off. I aim for that at least.
Yeah, I have Wednesdays and Fridays off myself.
See, we take
very
Fridays
nice.
off. We're good.
Yeah. It's amazing. I love it when I have my day off, like when it's Wednesday, and I'm like, oh, I have nothing to do today. Oh, I should have it.
It happens to me. I'll be like, I have nothing to do today. I could play video games or record more audio. Normally the video games win, but I do think about you guys.
I do think about about all the work I have to do.
The problem with our jobs is if you go to 9 to 5, you're done. You go home. But with us, the more you work, the more money you make. So you work to make money. Like it's a never-ending hamster wheel. I don't get official days off. Even when I actually take a week off, I'm still doing things for an hour every morning, answering email, because no one else is gonna do it. I can't be I'm taking a week off. Replacement Benny, come in.
Yeah, no, there is no good replacement. Even if you were to bank all your recordings, it's still work. There's still work that needs to be done.
I had to double up to do that normally. I don't ever get like real time off. That's why when we did officially take a week off, like right when the pandemic hit, it was amazing because it was like we're just taking a week off, no videos.
That's right.
So clone Benny come in. Yeah, exactly, Corvus. All right. What's
I like
the next
somebody's
up?
suggestion that we should both chip in $500 and then like.
I wonder if he'd be on board at that. I wonder if he'd be on board.
That's half the price for 2 different characters. That's not gonna work.
I don't know. Maybe we can work it out. Yeah. We'll use the old school thing. We'll give you exposure.
Oh, I love it. You know what? We'll see what happens because, like, listen, you click that link.
He'll never talk to us again.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, back to the 3 Jokers having sold 300,000 copies already.
Yo, how is that possible?
Because I think at the end of the day, no one cares who the distributor is. Like, comic shops can whine about it. Seriously, comic shops can whine about it. Fans can whine about it. But at the end of the day, you still want your Batman.
Right.
That's literally what it... Like, I would be surprised if the numbers went up. But for them to not even go down just proves no one cares about Diamond other than the comic shop owner.
Well, or the armchair like fans who are like happy to be mad about anything, but like ultimately don't really matter because they are not actually influencing it. Like people who hate like a writer or an artist on a comic. It's like, well, are you still buying it? Yeah, I'm buying it. Like, or you could not buy it and actually tell them you don't want it anymore.
Okay, so for the longest time, this goes all the way back to 3 or 4 years ago. We had Marvel Now, and everyone's like, SJW characters. Oh my God, they've ruined all my favorite heroes. And like, every time someone would whine to me about that, how do we stop it, Benny? I would go,
how do we stop it?
Stop buying the book.
That's
when
it.
you continue to buy the book, they will continue to make it. It is the same thing with the distributor. If people wanted to make the distributor like, no, we have to stick with Diamond, then you don't buy the book from the other distributor because they don't care if you're upset. If you buy the book, that's going to keep going.
And there are comic shops I know personally who just stopped carrying DC. They literally just were like, oh, if that's the case, they didn't make deals with the other distributors. They literally pulled all their DC books off the shelves. They put them in dollar bins, all their back issues logged. They got rid of all their DC. They're like, we are a Marvel and an indie comic shop. That's all we're doing. And I was
Apparently
like,
that wasn't enough though.
I mean, it was one shop, like if all of them did it, maybe it might make a dent, but like, if you don't like what a company's doing, the only way to get through to them is to not buy it or to not spend your money on it. Like an angry tweet, who cares? You're mad to yourself. You're going to complain to some podcasters. Again, doesn't help. You got to vote with your wallet. And when it comes to 3 Jokers, I mean, like the fact is Batman is essential. You need to keep publishing Batman. What if DC really wanted to like hurt the industry, like at large? They would stop publishing Batman in physicals. All Batman comics are digital. If they did that, it would directly hurt the comic book industry, comic shops, and comic book publishers. Because Batman is the #1 selling book. When Batman does well, we all do well. Because it gets everyone into the shop. And when they all come into the shop, they come to get their Batman, and they stay and they check out something interesting from Boom, Image, Marvel, whatever. And they check it out. And that's how the model works. It shouldn't work like that. It's grotesque that Batman is the only character that gets people into comic book shops, but I digress.
Spider-Man
that's how it works.
It's Spider-Man and Batman that get, like, if you look at the top books, it's always those. That's why it was such a big deal when Hulk surpassed them.
Yeah.
Like, because Hulk is never known as a character that gets you in a comic shop.
Well, and even then, you can't set your watch to Spider-Man because if you look at the top 5 books every month to month, when and if Marvel cracks that barrier and gets to the top 5, it isn't always Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man and sometimes it's Hulk or Captain Marvel or the Avengers. Like, it depends on who's working on it, what the hype is, and what the creative team is, honestly. And so that's kind of, I kind of dig that. I think that's kind of fascinating that, like, Marvel's
I will admit something, Sal, that they'll never hear me repeat. I love my DC and I love my Marvel, but I will say, if DC did not have Batman, I'm curious where they would be.
Oh,
like, with Marvel, the roster of people that can sell Marvel comics is a lot larger than the roster of people that can sell DC comics. Like, at a DC comic, for general populace,
yep,
it's pretty much your TV show guy. So, like, You get Batman, he's big no matter what.
Yep.
Flash has gotten into the roster if you could sell books with Flash on it. And we've gotten up to the point of like Superman never did. He never got to that top 10 breaker. But with Marvel, you're right. It rotates. It's like this month it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's normally up there, but whoever's got a movie or whoever's got a good writer or...
Yeah, Spider-Man doesn't need a movie to promote Spider-Man comics. Spider-Man sells
Batman doesn't
regardless.
either.
Yeah. I think if DC lost Batman, DC Comics wouldn't exist. Like, Warner's / AT&T would bust them up. They'd be like, okay, let's just start selling off characters who don't we need. Okay, you can have the Spectre, you can have you can have Phantom Stranger, you can have the Justice League, like you can have the JSA. I could see, I don't care about those characters.
AT&T trying to clean things up. I could see that being like, I could see DC would have made it up to this acquisition.
Yep.
But with AT&T going in with a sledgehammer and treating it like, I mean, and I'm not even surprised they're doing this. This is normal corporate bullshit when they take over another company. Mm-hmm. But with the way they're doing it, I could see that. Yeah. So DC's done. They don't have any big heroes like if they had some guy made out of a bat costume maybe, but they don't. So we're going to sell off all the characters.
And all you need to do is look at what Warner's / AT&T is looking to farm out. You know, like Doom Patrol they would keep, but they don't make Doom Patrol comics, so really all we need is the licensing rights to Doom Patrol. So whatever, whoever wants to pay us to publish Doom Patrol comics, if they want to do that, knock yourselves out. Yeah. But like ultimately for them, they're like, we make Batman movies. They don't even care about Superman movies. The only way that we got any kind of spiritual successor to Man of Steel was because Batman was in it. Batman versus Superman. You've heard it 1,000 times, people talking about how like Warner's won't greenlight Man of Steel 2 still because they're like, it doesn't do $1 billion. And it's like, if you don't care about making a Superman movie, there's no way you care about hanging on to Superman comic book rights, especially if they're not bolstered by the Bat.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And I love DC, guys. I mean,
I do too.
I have two of my favorite superheroes right behind me. So
yeah,
I'm the guy that, I mean, I almost feel like if they didn't exist, right? Like if Batman didn't exist, DC would be more of the hipster comic line. Whoever actually owned them, WB, AT&T, or if they split them up, it'd be more the hipster line instead of the big name it is. Yeah. And but also keep in mind, guys, a lot of you are bringing up like, oh, what about Arrow? What about Flash? We're talking if they didn't have Batman at all. Right. Would they have gotten to the point that they could have sold other heroes?
Yeah.
That's the question. Because look, you guys don't know this, but a lot of companies went out of business because they had that one big guy and they didn't capitalize. Like, what was it? Marvel Comics? Not Marvel. Whoever had Shazam.
Fawcett Comics.
Fawcett. They only had Shazam. They didn't capitalize. So yes, in this day and age, Flash, Green Lantern, they're all more recognizable. But if they had, but without Batman, would they have gotten to that?
Here's my question: how much do you think AT&T could sell Batman for?
18. What do you mean?
If AT&T was like, okay, you know what? We have milked Batman to death, and it's too expensive, and it's too, sketchy / uncertain to just start making superhero movies. Like we've learned that superhero franchises only make us a certain amount of money, and we don't really care.
Yeah.
Let's just try and get all our money back. Let's try to recoup some of our losses. Obviously, AT&T is interested in slashing prices and cutting where they can. They could get a big payday if they just sold Batman. To whom could they sell Batman? And how much do you think Batman would go for? We've heard the number just in terms of / studios. Sony made a outrageous claim, I think, and we've heard this, and I think it's hearsay. But like Sony, like when Marvel Studios / Disney was like, listen, Sony, what would it take to just get Spider-Man back? And they were like $10 billion. And they were like, okay, well, we're thinking more like $4 billion. Because remember, Disney bought Marvel for $4 billion, Star Wars for $4 billion. Is Batman worth more than $4 billion? Is Batman Spider-Man numbers for AT&T?
That's a good question. I think it's a good theory to have it a different show.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. I'll hang on to that. But
no. I do like it, but also it's almost 4, and we still have
a couple
not
more
much.
Topics to go.
We have one. We have one topic.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Well,
so we're gonna go back to that in a minute. Now.
All right. Fair enough.
Today's been a weird and fun episode, Sal.
Yeah. It's been very. That's you never know what you're gonna get with Absolute Comics, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you need to subscribe.
We've never had a call-in guest.
No. We've never done that, and maybe we might want to do that again. That was kind of fun. Just be like, hey, who could we get if just if they're like, oh, I just have to call them with my phone for like 2 minutes. Yeah, I could do that. Like,
all right. So anyway, during the Avengers game beta, I'm going to put a little caveat here. If you want no spoilers for upcoming characters, then don't listen to this portion of the show. Sal and I will do this when you can unmute.
yeah.
Okay? But there has been data mining of future characters, so we're going to discuss these characters real quick. Okay?
Yep.
So if you don't want to know them, mute. I don't think anyone cares to not have these spoiled. It's no story. It's just these are upcoming characters. That's all we have.
Yep.
So I guess data miners went into the Avengers during the beta and found, so if you don't know, the way Avengers plays out, there's a challenge card, which is basically a battle pass for each hero, which I'm happy and worried for, because how fast can I get through those? Because am I playing Avengers for 9 hours a day to get all these down, or is this their way of trying to get money out of me? Anyway, that's a different debate for another day.
Yeah.
But each of these DLC characters has their own challenge cards, and they were data mined. So using the idea that each character who has a challenge card will be a playable character, we have had leaks of Ant-Man, Wasp, Vision, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Marvel, Falcon, Mockingbird, Quake, Winter Soldier, Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel, Kate Bishop, She-Hulk, and War Machine.
Yeah.
Now, all of that lines up with what I was saying, except for one character in there, and I think Sal and I, two, and Sal and I have an answer to them.
Yeah.
But I
That's
said,
right.
when you see a movie announcement or a movie coming, you're probably going to get that character. Ant-Man and Wasp, probably going to be a 2-pack. Vision, when that show drops, along with Scarlet Witch, 2-pack.
Scarlet Witch and Vision. It could be a 2-pack. They all could be 2-packs, actually. That may be how they lump Mockingbird in. Because Mockingbird appeared on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. Could be Mockingbird and Quake.
Oh, yeah.
2-pack.
They're doing the final season right now.
That's right. It's over. The last episode aired. It's over.
Okay, then they're going to do it late. I feel like that one, Quake and Mockingbird, were intended for that show.
Yeah, maybe they'll wait until the last season arrives on Disney Plus.
That could be. I mean, you could easily line it up with that. Marvel is probably going to be a part of the Captain Marvel pack. I could see that.
Yep.
Kate Bishop teamed up with She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, I'd take that. You could also team her up with Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
but I think they might do Falcon and Winter Soldier, since Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be a show on Disney Plus.
Doctor Strange, I think, will be on his own. No, or Black Panther. They'll just put the two of them movie people together.
That'd be cool. Yep.
Yeah. This sounds like either we're going to practically get a new character a month, or they're going to 2-pack them.
Yep.
I'm wondering.
How do you feel about that?
See, I am an interesting gamer when it comes to what I want. I want constant content, but the problem is I don't want so much content that I'm overloaded and can't keep up.
Me either.
That's where I get, like, if I get 2 a month, 2 every other month, maybe. If I get 1 a month, how fast are they pumping them out? That's my concern. Right. And how do these challenge cards work? Do they reset every month? Am I eventually going to be at a point where I, in theory, would have to do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, maybe 24. I might have miscounted. Am I eventually going to have to do 24 challenge cards monthly?
Yeah, I wouldn't. But here's the thing. I'll do whatever the game wants me to do if I don't have to pay real money to get the character.
Well, the way the challenge cards work is they give you daily quests to go do. In the way most battle passes work is you can very feasibly get through them in the time span they give you if you're playing probably every other day. But if you miss like a week, you might have to buy up a couple tiers or go ham. This is the way that kind of thing works.
Yeah, I am not a gamer. This is not for me. I want to play the Avengers game because I did play the Avengers game and I really enjoyed myself for the most part. When I got rolled back, like their checkpoint system, I was like, I died and then it rolled me back, and then I got a lot farther and it rolled me back to the same point, and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
But the gameplay I enjoyed, the characters I enjoyed, the designs, like the option to change them, upgrade them, give them comic book accurate costumes. I was like, this is cool. I'm down. And the environments look really cool, and the story I'm intrigued by. So I'm interested in this.
I want to put this in there because it was brought up by our chat. DST. All the characters are free. They're charging for suits. Once you buy the base game, they're saying everything will be free, but they're selling cosmetics, battle passes, things like that. So
Yeah.
You're not buying each of these characters.
But again, like, I don't want to buy anything. Like, if I spend $60 to $80 on a video game, it better come with everything I bought.
Well, if they run up the current model, yes, it will. What the current model for gaming seems to be, the live service game that this is going into, is they're hoping you won't have time to finish it. Right. That's what they're aiming for. They're aiming that you're going to get near the end of the season and you're going to be shy 20 levels on that challenge card or that battle pass, and you really want that costume, and they're really hoping you're going to spend that money. That's what Destiny's doing it. Call of Duty's doing it. I mean, all of them do it. The old school model live service, like the MMO, that doesn't really exist anymore. Right. This is the new model where they pretty much they make it reasonable. The big issue comes in when they don't make it reasonable. Oh, I have to play 10 hours a day? That ain't happening. You know, but when they make it reasonable, they're just hoping you don't have time.
Right. Yeah. This is something not necessarily new to me, but it's something where it's like when I got the Spider-Man game, and I know that that game's 2 years old or whatever, but all I had to do was accomplish tasks and I unlocked costumes. That's all I want. I just want to play the full game, and I want to get costumes and play more of the game to get more of the game. I think that's a fair transaction, and it's what I'm here for. Arkham, same deal. If I have to pay to play as Adam West, eat me. I'm not going to do that. That's I get it. That's my approach. And,
so it's
go ahead. Yeah. No, I was just like, this gameplay seems like everyone's talking about what it's like, and they're naming games I don't play, and I'm like, right on, okay, I see what you're saying, and from my perspective of playing it, I was like, it seems like a pretty standard, straightforward, action adventure game. I don't want if I want to create a team that looks like my comic book characters or the characters that I want to see on a team, I shouldn't have to spend more than $1. If I've already spent $60 to $80.
Well, and that's the model they're rolling with. Like I said, the question is going to be, at the end of the year, am I working on 24 monthly challenge cards, which I can no way feasibly do, and I'm going to have to pay for all these costumes if I want to stay on it,
Right. And we should also point out, people are asking about the X-Men, and it's like, the game has taken, I think, 4 or 5 years in development. It took forever for this game to be made.
Yeah.
And the reason why there's Inhumans in it is because it was made before the Fox acquisition. So you can bet your bottom dollar there won't be any X-Men in this game until they add them, until they come up with it. And even then, it's going to take time.
I guarantee you Wolverine will be the first one to roll out when the movie starts.
Why wouldn't it be? That's so brilliant. Yeah. No, first one.
Hey, Sal, do you want to play Avengers? I'm Wolverine!
Yeah. No question. Yeah. Spider-Man and Wolverine. That's my team.
So we're playing a PS5 then, huh?
Yeah.
All right,
I am getting that PS5 though, because
I have too. Well, I know you and Tiffany play games. Tiffany's the bigger gamer. She's better than
she is the. Oh, yeah. I might be a little better at Spider-Man. I don't know.
She's not next to you, is she?
She's playing actually right now. She's playing Ghost of Tsushima. So
is she in the studio or at the house?
She's at home. Oh no, she plays at home.
That's what I mean. She can't come over and hit you because you said you're
no. No. At that Spider-Man game, and even then, she blasted through. No, I've played the game. I've played the game fully 3 times. She played it once and beat all the challenges way faster than I did. It's just that I had a Groundhog Day with Spider-Man where I played that game 3 different times. So I can beat Scorpion pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But she beat him the first time the way I beat him the 3rd time. So yes, she is better than me.
So, all right, well, we're going to wrap up because I got this kitten that I got to let out so you can stretch before I do my stream. So thank you guys so much for watching here. Don't forget to check out Scott Snyder's Kickstarter. If you want to get access to this, it is up on my Patreon, and it is on his Patreon, and it is on my YouTube memberships. All those links will be down below. Otherwise, they're now going to expand into the Twitch chat. Thank you so much for your continued support. We really do appreciate it. And we will be back on Thursday with another podcast, and we will be back on next Tuesday with a podcast talking about the Fandome that drops this weekend.
Yeah, is it this weekend?
It's this weekend, 22nd.
Oh my God. Fandome! I can't wait.
What was that?
They're very excited about this Fandome.
So anyway,
I'm very excited myself.
We appreciate you all. You're all amazing. Thank you so much for your support. We couldn't be doing this job or these shows without you guys, so we really do appreciate you. Let's go ahead and close out the episode, and we'll see you next time right here at Absolute Comics.